It's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. Gail Bennington is doing the maternity leave, and we are watching a gigantic storm in the Atlantic Ocean. Looks like it's heading directly for Wilmington, North Carolina. It's just gigantic storm. And I'm sure you've heard it. Get out of there if you're anywhere near there. I'm always curious of what part of the country seems to take these storms. Like people always associate it with Florida. But I think North Carolina probably gets the most of them. All right, 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. It is the Bennington Show. Chris wants to read something.
Coming up this Monday, we have Unmasked with Jim Brewer. That's happening this Monday, September 17th at 5 p.m. at the Fat Black Pussycat in New York City. It's part of the Comedy Cellar. And go to the ibang.com for a chance at free tickets for Unmasked with Jim Brewer this Monday.
That'll be a lot of fun. Everybody loves Jimmy Brewer. It's going to be a good time. Tomorrow, we're going to play the Norm Unmasked. And, man, he got hammered a couple days in a row. The first day when he was defending his friends Roseanne and Louis C.K. And then after that, right before he did the Unmasked with us, he had done Howard's show, and he had dropped a name that caused yet another backlash. So I saw him, I think he did The View today, and offered an apology the day after the apology. But there's good news for you, Earl. It looks like the new Superman may end up being black. So all your work has come to fruition.
I really have a big problem with this, with the potential casting of Michael B. Jordan as the new Superman.
Now, what exactly has Michael B. Jordan done?
He was in Creed. He was in Black Panther. He played Killmonger in Black Panther. I think he's a big star. But to kind of make this leap to give him the role of Superman,
what's the difference? I mean, who really cares who Superman is? It's been played so many times by so many people. It just means nothing now.
It just plays the pandering to me. It's total pandering casting. If you're going to have a black superhero, why not just create a black superhero rather than give a
why can't Superman be black? Who cares?
Because it's such an identifiable character. It's such an iconic character.
I can tell you as a white guy, it serves no pride. It's never served any pride to me. First of all, he's an alien. He's not white or black. He's not even a human being. He's, quite frankly, in my opinion, space garbage. And the only reason why he gets over here is because our stupid sun is yellow.
Yes, but...
Now, this is just in... Lois Lane is going to be a Dominican. So, Earl, this should be unbelievable for you right now. This should be your time in the sun, in the yellow sun.
But with the success of Black Panther, why not just... why not just let that...
You're starting to become a nerd, Earl. You're becoming a nerd. A comic book nerd. I'm going to be at the Keystone Comic-Con with Big J. Okerson this weekend, and I'll bring it up in panel. Hey, do you guys want a black Superman? And I bet they go crazy. I bet they love it.
I think it's going to go the opposite direction. I think it's going to come off as what it is. It's a pandering move.
Why not just say we got a good actor, and what's the difference? What color he is? And I think you just said they got themselves a movie star. This other guy that they were using, he was terrible.
And it's also cashing in on the Marvel cash cow because it's a DC character. And they're just trying to steal a little bit of Marvel's thunder because Marvel films always get it right, and DC films always seem to get it wrong.
That's what this is about right now, isn't it? This is you once again playing out your Adidas and Puma are not as good as Nike. I don't understand it, Earl. I don't understand why you can't just celebrate something. You know what I mean? Finally, once Superman might be kneeling down during the national anthem. I thought you would be thrilled with that.
He is not going to kneel or. Now, the image of him kneeling for, let's say, if they bring back General Zod and he's kneeling before Zod, imagine a backlash that'll happen with that.
I don't care what the nerds think. I don't care what they're angry about. Tommy, can you hear me? Tommy,
yeah. Going, guys.
Yeah.
I understand where Earl is coming from. I mean, I guess you don't want a white guy playing Martin Luther King, and you don't want a black guy playing Thomas Edison.
First of all, Superman isn't real, though. And I think a white guy could easily play Martin Luther King, and a good black actor, of course, could easily play Thomas Edison. And maybe the first couple seconds, you're like, hey, what's going on here? And then if the movie was good, you would fall into it. What's the difference? It's all made up.
It's just who you think these people are and how you look at them, and I don't see it. I don't think
you should take racial profiling into the movie theater with you. You're sitting in there with your popcorn, and you're in the dark. How about just enjoying the movie? If it's a good movie, you like it. If it's a bad movie, this is the thing about. And Earl is definitely one of these online nerds, one of these fanboys that tries to write and produce the movie before it's done. Do you know how many people are angry now, Earl, that there's black people in Star Wars? They're furious. And women. Black people and women, they don't want in Star Wars.
There weren't that many black characters in Star Wars. Was it Lando Calrissian, and that was it?
Yeah, but now we've moved on. You don't see the new Star Wars? Oh, these things look like a UN. Hey, Matt, North Carolina. Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? I'm
good.
I think it's so funny that you guys are talking about this race issue with all of especially the Marvel characters all being called black. You gotta say that they're black. It's not like white Superman. So if there is a black Superman, should they call him Black Superman? Because it's Black Panther or Black Lightning,
I don't really follow comic books, but is this true? They just name.
But it's really funny.
I mean, it's ironic for me because we're talking with Black Girl about this, who's kind of our superhero.
I mean, I love you, man. You keep me so amused while I'm driving, and
cool.
I have turned from Howard Stern. If I miss Howard Stern, I used to listening to the replay, and now I just can't wait for the fucking Bennington show.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, buddy.
I'm a new listener, and I've never heard your daughter.
Yeah.
But the girls that used to fill in, I don't know if I've heard some replay shows, but the girl that used to fill in was just, I mean, she laughed at everything. She had just an infectious laugh that just made you fall in love with her.
Yeah, I'm not even sure who we're talking about. Yeah, that's probably her. That's probably Gail.
Okay, then it's your daughter. She just laughs at everything, and
she's always in a good mood. Me, on the other hand, I'm always in the worst fucking mood ever, and anything could just fucking spill over the apple cart for me. Hey, I had a really great time in the Lower East Side last night doing this bar show that PD puts on. It's all up on our Twitter, so you might want to go and check it out. Chris in Philly. Chris.
Hey, guys. The one thing I hope, if they do another Superman, could they not do another fucking origin story with him, that he came from Krypton, grew up on a farm, all that other shit. But it would be kind of funny, though, if they just continued the Justice League movies and all the other movies and just put in Black Superman and all the other characters like, something different here. With all the same old actors.
I wish that they would make him like a 1970s jive Superman, where he was always dropping the term turkey whenever he was going after something. I don't know. I'm definitely like, I think it's going to be interesting with Black Superman if he's on a farm. Because you know how country black guys talk a lot different than city black guys. I can't understand country black guys.
Yeah, the drawl is a lot heavier.
Yeah. Hey, Scott, what's up?
Not much, man. I just wanted to check on Earl, make sure that his commute in, he got in okay. German Shepherds didn't get you, or the white mobs, or the fire hoses, Earl?
Oh, Scott. That's 1960s
You know, it's the same as 1950s.
racism. Earl, I'm sorry you had to hear that, buddy.
This still goes on, doesn't it?
It don't get easier, does it, Earl?
Never.
Well, where do you see the new Black Superman? Maybe that'll do it for you.
No intention of seeing the Black Superman.
I've written a story called White Panther. I think it's pretty fucking cool. I still haven't seen Black Panther. You liked it?
I loved it, and I was not into the Black Panther thing at all. And the screening I was at, I was sitting next to a friend of mine. He has all of them, and he was like,
what is he, 8 years old?
No, he's about a little bit older than I am. And he was like, I loved it. It perfectly nailed every nuance of the comic book. It's on DVD.
I didn't even know comic books had nuances. Ted, Providence.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I think that it really just comes down to that there's only a handful of actors that have like the charisma and the physique to play these kind of superhero types. Like Michael B. Jordan was in the Fantastic Four before he was in Black Panther, and he's the best part of Black Panther. There's no doubt about it. And
what did he play in Fantastic Four?
He was the Black Human Torch.
I didn't know that they had a Black Human Torch.
Yeah, and I think in that film, the Storm, the brother and sister, one of them was adopted. Sue.
Which one?
I think Sue was adopted.
All right, so exactly. Now, why weren't you freaking out that they were pandering when he played Black Human Torch?
I thought it kind of killed the aesthetic of that movie. That's when the movie bombed. Everyone's like, among other things, the movie
That
was
is
terrible.
not why the movie bombed. The one before that bombed, and they had the White Human Torch. I think he was even a famous guy, right?
I think Chris Evans, who now plays Captain America, was in the first Fantastic Four.
God, to be a fucking actor of this generation and just being forced into these shitty fucking roles, I feel for him.
You even had a Black Kingpin and Daredevil.
Can you imagine, like, if we had a Marlon Brando born today and he was forced to fucking play this shit?
Put on the tights.
Yeah, there's no one. I mean, like, I guess we could blame them for being shitty actors, but what else are they going to do?
Yeah, if you get locked into that, the movie's a hit, you basically got at least 3 movies in the bag already.
Unless it's Marvel, you got to do 7. You might as well just get a fucking TV series out of it. All right, Chuck, our buddy in North Carolina, is on. Chuck, are you in the way of this storm? Are you far enough back?
Well, I'm far enough back. They're talking some wind and a shitload of rain, talking about power going off, but I got plenty of diesel fuel in my generator. I got cold beer and plenty of food. I'll be all right.
All right, good for you, buddy.
Hey, listen, that fucking Earl been over at the Hard Rock and with Hard Rock Johnny too fucking long. It sounds like to me he's trying to hold a black man down, right? What's the deal, Earl?
Yeah, what is that all about, Earl?
It's not a matter,
Right,
a matter of keeping the black guy down. I mean, Michael B. Jordan, the gig's a gig, but at the same time, it's just a weird feeling of having, it's like, hey, we're going to have you play Superman. It's like, maybe I'm not the guy for this role.
He's like, I don't want to take the $22 million. The only reason that you're saying he's not the guy for the role is because he's black. You haven't given us and that's literally racism. You're basing this on race.
I just
Why won't we just wait for the movie and see whether it works out or not?
It's just a matter of, again, I always feel like you need to have the right guy for the right role. And I think the Superman character...
I always say this, you need the right meat for the right role if you want a really good sandwich.
This is true. But I think, Michael B. Jordan, he always has a sense of swagger and attitude, and that's not the character of Superman.
Maybe he can play different things, Earl. Maybe those were the roles that he had then, and now he could do something else. I'm going to tell you about another black woman who every time she does a role, she transforms herself. A different accent, a different way of carrying herself, a different tonality. And that's Miss Meryl Streep, who I think is the finest black actress working today.
Don't think she's black.
That's because she's that good, Earl.
Are you sure?
She disappears. Let's go to Jarrett in Toronto.
Hey, my biggest concern with the race relation for the Superman movie is Lex Luthor, the white guy with no hair, going to be the villain?
That would be keeping in tone with the way the world is now. But I think it'd be pretty cool.
It going well.
I would think it would be pretty cool if he just went up against the villain from New Jack City, Mr. Wesley Snipes, who also played a black superhero.
Blade. But but it was written for a black guy, wasn't it?
Or why do we all have to be in our little fucking boxes that you have? And he was a half vampire, which makes him half white.
I think he was more black than white.
Who was your favorite black vampire? Was it Eddie Murphy? Or was it Blackula?
Blackula was so campy and funny in a this is so bad that it's funny way.
Do you consider Count Chocula to be black?
No, not Count Chocula.
Okay. I'm just checking, Earl, because hey, Freddie.
What's going on, Bennington?
What you say, man?
Doing well, man. Listen, you've already brought up that there was like a dozen or more black comic book heroes over the years, but what I don't understand about the Superman argument is why he's a white guy in the first place. He's a freaking alien.
Exactly.
Why would he look like us?
He's not white.
But he's also passing as a human in his Clark
Passing, Earl. He was able to pass. Doesn't that seem nice for like a light-skinned black guy to be in that role? Maybe you've never read the book Black Like Me, the way I did when I was in junior high school. Maybe the most offensive book that was presented as something nice.
You have to write a project on it?
I don't write stuff down, Earl. If it's either verbal or I'm not doing it. Andre in New York.
What's going on, Ronnie B?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, Earl, we can't complain. Last week we were complaining that Idris Elba can't be the black James Bond, and now you don't want Michael B. Jordan to be Superman? Come on, black is in, baby.
It really is, Earl. This is finally your time. You should probably try to be the black Jimmy Olsen.
He is a photographer.
Are you, Earl? Because I saw you being very timid coming in to take pictures yesterday.
I didn't want to wreck your flow, Ronnie.
I don't have a flow, dude. The only time I don't want you to interrupt me is when I'm hanging a belt from the fucking ceiling and putting my head in the homemade noose. I'm still calling it a noose. Hey, Cole in Canada.
Hey, Ron. Big fan.
Thanks, buddy.
About the whole black Superman thing. So if they did a new Shaft movie and they cast Mark Wahlberg as Shaft, would that be all right? Like, I wouldn't like that, but...
That Shaft is one nifty mother...
Shut your mouth.
I'm just discussing Shaft with everyone. If it was Mark Wahlberg and it was called Shaft, it would be about his cock from Boogie Nights. Nothing ever looked faker than his dick at the end of Boogie Nights. I wouldn't mind seeing a movie with a white Miles Davis.
he would spin in his grave if that would
Playing
have happened.
easy listening. You know, I've always heard it the term like somebody turning in their grave. It just really grosses me out because I don't want to believe that there's any consciousness involved there. It makes me claustrophobic. Earl, where do you want to be buried?
I'm leaning towards getting cremated.
I'm shocked to hear that, but I'm very, very proud of you, Earl. It's good for the environment. I'm going to have my head cut off and frozen and put next to Ted Williams. And then on the outside, I want the only two 400 ball players. Look at this. Look at our flag is ripped there. Hurricane bands are starting to hit the East Coast. It's all supposed to hit late tonight, right?
Yeah.
Get out. If you're in the North Carolina area, get out. That's what they're saying. This could have feet of snow, of rain, which I've never even heard of that in my life. The Weather Channel is now simulcast on Sirius XM, channel 145 for both subscribers and non-subscribers. Hear the latest on the storm with a special presentation of the Weather Channel on Sirius XM, channel 145 on now on all active and inactive Sirius XM radios. And have they sent the guy from the Today Show to go down there and stand sideways as the storm comes in? They tell everybody to get out of the way of the storm, and then they send the weathermen to stand on the beach and get blown down the beach. I think it's really bad that they're showing that flag ripped in half. Maybe we should send Vito down there and just have him, when the fucking storm comes in, just be holding on to a big fucking metal pole to see if he can make lightning come down. Hey, Dan in Florida. Dan, what's happening?
Yeah, buddies. You could lay Vito and Hicks side by side on the coast, and they could serve as like a couple of big fucking sandbags as the water's coming in. Fucking. Sorry, anyway.
Right about that.
Serious fat shit. It's not sand inside of
Sorry.
Nate's organs.
Sorry, Pepper. Anyway, what's up, buddies? Hey, Shabuti. It's great to hear you on the radio. And they're not going to call Superman Superman. They're going to call it Super Motherfucker.
All right, that's 70s slang. You know
I
what
know.
mean?
I know it's a little racist, too, but what are you going to do?
Well,
Have a
it's
good day, boys.
racist in the
Later.
70s. Today, it doesn't even make sense. I don't know. I mean, I probably shouldn't say this, but I don't even think that hurricane's going to hit. It's just a feeling I'm having. They say it's going to cause catastrophic flooding. I'm like, if it hits. If. Because they don't always know, Earl.
You're being optimistic.
Thank you very much. I like to think of myself as a glass half full of muddy water person. You know what I mean? And by muddy waters, I mean the great blues fucking player. The thrill is gone.
Wasn't that B.B. King?
You're fucking 100% right. You know what? Go into the prize closet for yourself.
Thank you.
You say you don't ever even see Hard Rock Johnny at work, huh?
Yeah, he's damn night.
But you're saying that most of the time he skips out early, heads down to that beach place of his, starts grabbing? Well, I got him on the line right now. Let's see if he likes to hear you talking out of school that way. Hey, Johnny.
Earl, cut that out.
He's running a gossip column over there. He said he wants to do a thing called Guess What's Happening at the Hard Rock.
That sounds great. Be very exciting. You're talking about these poor weathermen that got to stand outside. And last night I was watching CNN, and Chris Cuomo trotted out Sam Champion out of some closet. I mean, out of some place.
Wow, that's fucking gay bashing.
All of a sudden, Sam Champion is out. Like, I don't know the last time I don't even think he's on TV anymore, but
Yeah.
Sam has had some Sam is kept in some amazing shape, and the two of them sat there at the anchor deck talking about this storm for about 30 minutes. It's absolutely crazy, the coverage that they get and give it's for this thing. And I know they're trying to get the message out to get people out, but then they end the show with, all right, we'll see you tomorrow night from down on the beach in North Carolina. I'm like, doesn't that pose a risk to, the first responders and all these people that they're trying to tell everyone to get out, except for me? I'm okay. I can stand there because I'm a newsman.
Well, news people are trained in the art of surviving a massive hurricane.
Well, and even like they told a little story that during Sandy, apparently Chris Cuomo and Sam Champion got stuck on top of a van on the West Side Highway, and across the highway was Cuomo's brother. I'm guessing because he has a couple of brothers, but I'm guessing the governor, in a giant Humvee, but he couldn't get over to him. So I guess his brother was just like, all right, peace out. You guys enjoy being on top of that van for the next day. I'm leaving.
So this was on CNN?
Yeah, they were talking about it last night on CNN.
Some of this stuff is like stunt casting. I saw MSNBC. They're sending Marilyn Manson down to the beach. And they're going, let's see how he does. You got any Marilyn Manson gigs over there, Johnny? You got any of his pants?
I don't know if we have any of his pants. We do have a big rock and roll memorabilia sale this weekend. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock tomorrow. Or no, 1 o'clock tomorrow. Sorry, we're doing a sale of the Ronnie James Dio estate. Will be for sale for 2 days. A big auction at the Hallmark. If anyone's interested in buying Ronnie James Dio's pants, they will be available.
They're tiny. I could never fit into them.
They are.
I met Dio, and I was shocked at his size.
Remember, you were at the Eddie Trunk event where he showed up, and they were like literally passing Ronnie James Dio around like he was a little like puppy that people, because like they were passing him around the party because he's so small.
This is going to make you feel bad, but you've misremembered this. I did not go to the Eddie Trunk Ronnie James Dio salute party.
Why?
I don't know why.
Eddie not invite you?
Eddie's never invited me to anything except for Trunk Fest. I went out to Pioneer Days with him. Did you see the one where he was at Pioneer Days, Johnny? And
no.
They're trying to find a cowboy hat for him. And it was humiliating.
That's still the best story where they couldn't find a hat for him.
How can a 10-gallon hat not fit your head? Your head is bigger than 10 gallons.
That is huge head.
He was all dressed up like a cowboy. They gave him a cowboy shirt and shoes that jingle jangled. And
he had the belt buckle.
Yeah. And I mean, he doesn't dress up like a metal guy when he goes to his metal shows.
Nope. He's the least, I'll venture to say this, he's the least metal guy that I know.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, so he's the least metal. Most metal guys wear that like on their sleeve. Eddie is an internal metal guy, it seems. He knows more about metal than anybody, but he looks the least metal I've ever seen. No long hair.
Yeah, Mikey D would always wear a mesh shirt made out of a goddamn fence. He's just like, what is this? Why? Why are you dressed like this now? You're somewhat of a metal guy, aren't you, Johnny?
If I had to choose my favorite my favorite genre, I should say, of music, I would go metal. Yeah, old school metal.
That's sad.
Metallica. Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen Metallica more than any other band. It's toss up between Metallica and Springsteen.
Do you think of Springsteen as metal?
No, I don't. Not even.
Have a metal Springsteen.
No metal Springsteen.
Earl, you hate metal?
Yeah. Love metal.
Chris?
I do not like metal at all. I hate it.
I'm with metal. Here's my biggest beef with them. I'm always embarrassed with the fucking lyrics. I'm too lyrically driven. I know most people aren't, but I hear those lyrics and I cringe. I literally cringe.
I would I would have to agree that some of them are really, really bad. It also depends if you're like hair metal. I think the hair metal lyrics are probably the worst of all.
I don't know. They all get into that devil stuff. You know what I mean? I just can't get scared of the devil. Just doesn't work for me.
To hell with the devil, I always say.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
Johnny, I got to take a break here.
All right. Well, you have a good break and stay safe during the storm, please.
Stay safe tonight, Johnny. Please.
I'm gonna try.
All right.
Coming
peace.
in later.
We will be right back. It's Bennington.
This is Bennington on Faction Talk 103. Go to theibank.com right now. Sign up for your chance at free tickets to see Unmasked with Jim Brewer, Fat Black Pussycat, this Monday at 5 p.m. Faction Talk 103, The Bennington Show.
That was Vito. Vito's gone from kind of our opener to just kind of overall voice of the show. How do you think he's doing now?
A lot of energy, a lot of passion.
It's like an album. You want an album to have that big bang at the start of it.
Yeah.
That's what I just want to just hear somebody raging at the beginning of an album. That's what I'm always trying to push at James Taylor. I'm like, dude, you got to come out of this like you fucking mean it.
It's like Sinatra. He's like, I want those first 3 songs to kill in the live show.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he always had this theory that his first 3 songs had to kill. If they did, he knew the show was going to go great. If they didn't, it was going to be a rough night.
What was, in your opinion, the greatest? Because the young people, they don't even know an album anymore.
Yeah.
But I always thought that the album had to start not just with a great song, but it had to be a decent energy song. Like a kind of, I think Break On Through was an opening song
Yeah.
to that album.
For me, it's Highway Star, Deep Purple. That is the kick-ass to end all kick-ass opening song.
Ain't nobody gonna be my call, gonna raise it to the ground. I'm going to give you another one. If you want to get on this, 844-ROCK-GOD, 844-ROCK-GOD. Because, let's face it, Earl just threw down the rock gauntlet with Highway Star. Very, very unexpected, Earl. Very unexpected. And maybe definitive.
Yeah, like that always amps me up, whether it's the Machine Head version, whether it's the Made in Japan. That's just... You want to get out and have some...
Earl, I can't tell you how proud I am to know that you're a big fan of the Made in Japan live album by Deep Purple.
One of the greatest ever made.
It really is pretty fucking good. And Machine Head, as you know, some people credit that with being like the early metal sound. I don't know. I'll have to go to Eddie Trunk for it. I know that he calls Deep Purple just Purple. And I'm like, I'm not in that much of a hurry, Eddie. I got time for both fucking things. But I'm going to give you one. GNR, welcome to the jungle. Not only an introduction to the album, but an introduction to the band.
Yeah, I mean, like, you played at sporting events, you played at a party, you played, like, it's on. Yeah, that's just the way to kick anything off.
Hey, JT, you're on the Bennington Show.
Hey, brothers.
Yeah.
Audio Slave, Co-Chief.
You know, Audio Slave, Earl and I had a great fucking occasion with Audio Slave. When we were walking down the street, started hearing Audio Slave playing, and they were on top of the marquee at the old David Letterman show, just playing for free.
I saw the video of that. It was awesome.
And you know and you know, I mean, like McCartney had done that before and stuff, but the fact that we didn't know that it was happening made it kind of pretty cool.
It was a total gorilla hit.
Hey, Eric in South Carolina, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Ron. How are you? Just wanted to say, great opening track is "London Calling" by The Clash on the album "London Calling."
Almost unfollowable. You know what I mean? All right, Earl, this sets up even like a separate subcategory here. when you use the title of a song as the album title, do you expect to hear it as the first song?
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
It seems to make it seems to be the definitive statement.
Yeah, Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On." That's the opening. You don't expect to hear that stuck in the middle of some other tracks. Hey, let's go over here to Brad in Akron. What's happening?
Hey, man. I love the show. I love the concept today. Dude, Running with the Devil, Van Halen, to me, like, that is such an opening track. It sets me off every time I start to hear it.
It is uniquely a Van Halen sound to it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, just the way it's articulated, and the way that it sets the remainder of the album off.
Do you ever hear that thing where they've taken David Lee Roth's just his singing and you hear nothing else?
Oh, the isolated track?
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable. Be in Detroit. 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God.
Hey, Ron. Hey, can I say something to Earl real quick?
Yes.
Hey, Earl, I'm so glad you're back because we don't have to listen to Mushmouth Stanley as much anymore. So good job, Ron, bringing him back.
It was an exciting concept to bring Earl back into radio. And quite frankly, I think he belongs in radio. It always fucking bothered me that he had left radio.
I'm glad to be back, Ronnie.
But I don't know if I want to hear less of Mushmouth. Everybody loves Mush.
I do too. I just like busting his fat balls.
Oh, come on. The fat shaming again.
No, fat balls is a nice thing to hear about yourself.
I just heard fat.
Yeah. Fat balls is nice. You want to be a guy with big fat balls. What do you got, Jimmy?
Ramble Tamble by Creedence on the Cosmos Factory record. Underrated song. Probably their best song they ever recorded, in my opinion.
You know, this is a nice, fucking cool, obscure pick. All right, let's listen to this. This is so fucking good. And it is weird, though, because they have so many fucking hits that you forget something that doesn't get radio play, that it can be fantastic.
Sounds like a Sun Records kind of
I know, man.
vibe to it.
Let's go over here to Ralph. Ralph in Cleveland.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Earl. What's up?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Not too much. Hey, this is a little bit older one. I'm sure you know it, though. The opening track, Suspect Device, on Stiff Little Fingers and Flammable Material. When I was a kid and first heard that.
I'm going to play this right now and sell 5 albums by the Stiff Little Fingers. Let's go to our friend Holly in St. Pete. Hey, Holly.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Good, man.
One of my very favorite songs in the world, Nazareth, Hair of the Dog.
That's a great call. I love this
Love
song.
that song to death.
Hey, Bart in D.C. We got into this little thing. Best opening song to an album. What do you got for us?
You might know him as James Osterberg Jr. I call him Iggy Pop.
Okay.
I call him Iggy Pop. Lost
Yeah.
for Life.
Yes, this was a very dramatic, and it takes so long for the lyrics to kick in on this song. I remember the first time I heard this, I'm like, they're going to start selling cruise ship vacations with this song. You know, this reminds me of with Lou Reed and Rock and Roll Animal, how long it takes, and this is a great live album, but how long it actually takes to get to Sweet Jane. And I love that fucking intro. But then when it actually kicks in and it's Sweet Jane and you hear the whole audience and you realize Lou hasn't been on stage the fucking entire time.
One of the most dramatic intros.
Oh, it's great. Danny in Montreal. Danny.
Hey, Ronnie B.
Hey,
You
man.
sound like a million loonies.
You know what? I'm feeling even more. I feel like a million toonies today. You know? I'm doing that well.
2 million loonies. So listen up. I'm thinking Back in Black album, Hell's Bells, the tribute to Bon Scott coming back after their, after the death of the singer.
But see, that's an interesting thing. It's not the name of the album, but it's a great opening fucking, with this right here. And when they do this in concert, people fucking lose their shit. All right, we got into this conversation. Best opening songs to an album. Lou in Jersey.
Hey, Ronnie. Hey, I always thought Good Lovin' Gone Bad off Bad Company Straight Shooter album was a good opening track.
All right, let's take a listen because this became a big hit for them. John in Detroit. What do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, Ronnie B.
Hey, man.
13 years old, growing up in Jersey, I walked into a record store and they put on Led Zeppelin 1, Whole Lot of Love.
Yeah, again, this is an introduction to the band and a damn good one. Greatest opening songs to any album. Here's Greg in Biloxi.
What's going on, Mr. Bennington? You sound like $1 million.
Same to you, my friend.
I'd also like to say welcome back to Earl. Missed his voice and love that he's back on the radio. And the good news is he's got the face for radio, so that's awesome.
Well, we all got the face for radio and bodies for radio.
I hear you. Hey, look, you can't even have this conversation without adding Boston Don't Look Back into it because that's got to be the best opening lick I've ever heard. So I want to throw that at you.
All right, let's jump into it. Ray in South Carolina.
B, good to hear you.
Thanks, buddy.
Greatest rock and roll band, Styx, Grand Illusion.
You know who also considers this the greatest rock band of all time, Earl? Somebody we know well.
Who?
Don Wiki Wicklin. This is his absolute favorite band in the world. Hey, Khalib. Khalib, what do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, man, isn't Gloria one of your favorites?
Well, I think, Gail almost sang this at the Hard Rock last year. But it's a great song, great opening to this. I almost left the whole thing on. I forgot what we were doing. Buck in Mexico City. What do you got for us, buddy?
This is Dr. X from Mexico City, Ronnie.
Oh, Dr. X, and he put it up as Buck X.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, that's your new name.
I went to the Stones concert back in college in the late 80s, and it was this all-black band that come out and tore the fucking stage apart called In Living Color. First track, Cult of Personality.
This is Earl's favorite band of all time, and I was at this show too, and I don't think I knew them before this show. Your favorite band of all time, Earl?
Yeah, like it was the first band that was like my band. You know what I mean? Like everyone else was like, your sister's band, your father's band. This was like the one that got in from jump, and it became my band.
That's another whole interesting concept. What was your first thing that you felt like direct ownership like that? Hey, I'm watching this stuff they're already showing flooding in North Carolina. 17,000 homes already without. And this is before the storm hits. And every single news network is running this hurricane right now. Nobody has a Trump story today. It's very, very odd. Usually I'm doing this show. I would say 99% of the time I look up and I see Trump's face on the 3 different networks. I wonder how he feels today. He's like, maybe I should just take a day for myself, do a Ferris Bueller's day. Cameron in Birmingham.
Ronnie B.
Yes,
$1 million.
Thanks.
So I'm calling on behalf of my old man who loves these guys. But Aerosmith rocks. Opening up with Back in the Saddle again is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was just about, I guess, the peak time of this band before they went into their, problem years. Then they had their comeback.
It was my all-time favorite Aerosmith album.
It was a fun live band. Hey, Dave in Columbus.
Hey, this might be a 2-part song on Yellow Brick Road. Funeral for a Friend, then it goes into Love Lies Bleeding.
I did not realize that this was the opening song to this album. And it's it takes so long before you get to Love Lies Bleeding, but it's another one of those, fucking moments. But it just goes on and on with this funeral dirge for a while. Flats just texted me this. Ice-T and Body Count. There goes the neighborhood. People forget that was the beginning. Ice-T and Body Count was bringing alt-rock and fucking hip-hop together.
That first album was so ahead of its time.
Yeah. Scott in Florida, what do you got, buddy?
Hey, Ronnie B, Earl, great to hear you guys today.
Cool, man.
So, Motley Crue's Shout at the Devil.
Remember when they tried to say, shout at the devil, we're not shouting with the devil. Because a lot of religious groups came after them very early on. That was like that 80s.
It's the PMRC years.
Yeah. Greg in Tennessee. We got into this conversation today. This is probably going on way too long, but we can't help ourselves. Best opening songs to any album.
I am going to have to go with the obvious NWA, Straight Outta Compton.
Again, this was the introduction to this band and to this movie. That movie's so stupid, and they never turn it off. When that song and this band came out, there was a lot of people really freaked out and scared. But those lyrics are hilarious.
I'm sitting here cracking up.
Me too.
I cracked up then. I cracked up now.
Kevin in South Carolina.
Hey, we can't forget Strangle. Ted Nugent's first album, first song.
And I'm always a big fan of the solo artist who doesn't sing his songs. It's always so funny to me. I wonder why he kind of went away once Trump got in. He was like, before Trump got elected, you would see like a thing every day with Ted Nugent.
Yeah, you would think he would go like for like one of the cultural affairs or arts positions within the administration.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think of Trump as a big music guy because I don't think he's had any, shows at the White House.
I know Nugent showed up at the White House, and him and his wife took photos inside the White House. But other than that,
but does he still tweet? I remember when his tweets would be big news all the time. Johnny in New York, what's up?
Yo, hey, Ron. Listen, I'm 62 years old. I've been listening to rock and roll since 1964, and I still think the best opening to an album is James and Decisiones.
A band that just fucking bounced right out, didn't they, Earl?
Yep, in and out.
In Kentucky, what do you got?
Hey, boys. So a band that I'm not super crazy about the way that people are, but I like them, and I was going through some old stuff recently, and I thought this was a great start opening to the second album after their first album just kind of changed everything with Pearl Jam 10. So the song Go, the first song on Versus, as everyone kind of waiting to see what they would do after that smash hit, and I think they nailed it pretty good.
This is the Bennington Show. Go to the ibang.com right now. Sign up for your chance at free tickets to see Unmasked with Jim Brewer at the Fat Black Pussycat Monday, September 17th. That's this Monday at 5 p.m. Faction Talk 103. This is the Bennington Show.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Bennington.
False ending, Chris. You got to be careful of that in this business.
I screwed up. Unmasked with Jim Brewer is happening this coming Monday, September 17th at 5 p.m. at the Fat Black Pussycat in New York City. Go to the ibang.com for a chance at free tickets.
You were blaming Earl in the false ending, too.
Yeah, he said in my ear, stand by. I stood by, and then it faded out, and then I wasn't expecting the false ending. Give me a countdown. Earl.
He's not quite much of a Steely Dan fan.
No, there's a little tick right at the end.
You set him up, bro, and then you knocked him down.
I'm embarrassed.
What's going on with you, Chris? You don't seem yourself lately.
I don't?
Mm-mm. What's going on in that pretty little head of yours?
I saw that Don Jr. Went gator hunting. I think earlier this week.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he went gator hunting, and like there was like him and his girlfriend went, and then there was like a photo ops, and like the backlash. There wasn't really any backlash for this hunting because when he goes hunting in Africa, there's always a backlash of people just like trashing him for being a hunter.
Well, they want you to hunt gators.
Well, had me thinking, what are animals you can kill that no one will judge you for? Because the gators, no one cares about, or they don't mind anyone killing a gator.
There's too many gators. There's too many deer.
Yeah.
Things like that. A white rhino, people get upset.
Yeah, but if you kill a rat, no one cares. It's like, oh, good, you killed that rat. I think if you killed a cow, no one will really mind.
Yeah, you might be right about that since the amount of hamburgers and steaks that we use.
Yeah. Or let's say, like, I think if you kill a bobcat, people will be pissed. Like, if I told you I killed a bobcat, I think people will be like, why were you killing bobcats?
Yes, you are correct with this thing that you figured out. We'd rather that you weren't killing bobcats since there's so few of them. But since there's a lot of rats and they're a nuisance, go ahead, kill one.
There's two camps here.
No, it's the same camp. We're all on the same team on this one.
Or if you kill a raccoon, I think people would be weirded out if you killed a raccoon.
That's where we get our caps from. I know one thing, Chris. I like it when you kill a beer.
If it tastes good.
All right, it's the Bennington show, and the very earliest stages, the outer bands of this storm coming in. And I'm always curious about a storm like this, if it's going to be as big or people will be bitching tomorrow like, oh, they made us fucking all that stuff and nothing happened. But they always say, just get out of the way. Just get out of the way of this damn thing. Hey, send me Vito in. I haven't talked to Vito all day today. See if he's got what animals you can kill premise ready to go.
Jesus Christ.
No, you really came up with some good things.
Oh, yeah.
I am not going to kill an albino rhino. Dude, that's a great children's book, The Albino Rhino. All right, I want to. You're a guy who likes to wear a headband, right?
Sometimes.
This white headband looks like a bandage.
Yeah,
you look like you've got brain problems.
I don't. It's the last. I lost all my other headbands, so I have this fucking bandage-looking thing, and it's either a band. And then the way I have my hair tied up, if I looked in the mirror and I thought I looked like a samurai, but like not like a fat samurai. So
hey, no,
a heavy one,
stocky.
No, you're fine.
Like a John Belushi samurai.
Oh, the late John Belushi.
The late John Belushi samurai. All right, animal you can kill and get away with.
We were kidding.
Fox.
We were kidding.
Okay.
Can't kill a fox.
Yeah. You were right about that rat thing, though. People do like when you kill a rat.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, boy. What's on in Vito's mind? I know you got the headband thing.
I have a huge issue with Earl today.
Oh, you never have yet, huh?
I've yet to have an issue. So we're sitting in...
Wait, I'm going to just see if Earl is even aware of this. Do you know?
Yeah, we were in the office and...
Okay, so you do know.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it,
So
Vito.
we're in the office, and I mentioned to Chris this movie I want to see, White Boy Rick, has a 55 on Rotten Tomatoes. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I thought it was going to do better than this. And Chris goes, what's the movie about? I say to Chris, I know it's about a guy who's selling like drugs and there's arms dealing, but I haven't looked a lot into it because I want to be surprised. It's based on a true story. Then Earl goes, and spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't know this story. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Well, that's cool of him to do that.
Earl goes, oh yeah, he's an informant, youngest informant in history.
It's in the fucking trailer.
But I avoided the trailer. And then Earl goes, well, he also gets arrested and gets life in prison. So he does that, and then I go, what the fuck, dude? I didn't want to know anything about the movie. He goes, it's a true story. I think if you don't know what happens in the movie, it's still a spoiler.
You know what Earl ruined for me? Lincoln.
No.
Just when I said this guy's going to be okay. You know what I mean? Just when he's got the war behind him and nothing but blue skies ahead.
But I was furious because I don't think you should tell anybody the end of a movie, even if it's based on a true story.
Can I tell you something, and maybe this will help you?
Okay.
You can't control the world. You can only control yourself.
He should control himself.
That's you trying to control the world.
Okay.
You got to control what. There's Christine just walks by without even so much as a nod. I think she's really still mad at us. You've got to control the way you react when someone, does this. Now, just because a guy got a life sentence doesn't mean he's not going to get out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So this movie, there's still a
In
world
this
of-
case, he did get out.
No, come on. Why are we still doing this to
Because
me?
it's what happened when he got out.
Don't
he was
tell me.
killed by the fucking guys in his
Ron,
neighborhood.
I really just want to see this movie and
Go
not know
ahead
what's
and
happening.
see it,
Well,
man.
what's the point now? I got to pay full price. I canceled my movie pass.
Yeah, you can't do your movie pass because it was worthless the way we told you. Spoiler alert, that's the worst business plan ever. Look, White Boy Rick, when he was 15...
No, please don't tell me.
Just read the Wikipedia. That's what I do to movies.
No, stop it. You're the
Dude,
worst.
how do you not keep up with your nation's history?
I don't know. I saw this young kid from Detroit, Paperboy's in the movie.
Well, he's not young anymore.
Well, I mean, back then, in the 80s or whatever that movie was.
Yeah. So you know that he was going to get older. You just didn't know that he was going to get older in prison. And then when he gets out, he gets fucking whacked. That was heartbreaking.
That seemed like a big twist in the movie. I would have been excited to see.
It was on 60 Minutes.
I don't watch 60 Minutes.
Dude, that's the kind of shit you need to start doing. You need to start educating your mind, not fucking wrapping a bandage around it and walking around like a head wound person. I want you to apologize to Earl and thank him.
I'm not apologizing to Earl for spoiling a movie for me.
He didn't spoil a movie. He educated you in life.
No, he spoiled it. He went out of his way to tell me the
It's
end of
fucking 55% on a shitty thing like Rotten Tomatoes. This is a fucking dumped piece of shit in September, like any movie that opens in September.
Sometimes late September has some promise.
Look, I don't want to ruin anything for you, but A Star is Born, don't get too fucking attached to the dude.
I haven't seen... Why is everybody just going out of the way to spoil movies for me?
This is the fourth time this movie has been done.
I've never seen one of the other ones. I was going to make this my first time.
You went to film school.
Yeah, they didn't show us that in film school. Well, do you think you just watch every movie in film
Yeah.
school? No, you don't watch it. There's a lot of movies you miss.
Name one.
Name a movie I haven't seen. I've
No,
gone
name
with
a
the wind.
movie that you don't think I've seen.
Oh, that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Goodfellas.
Come on, man.
Okay. Have
What are you
seen-
doing with yourself?
Have you seen The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari?
No, how's it end?
It's they're in a psych ward.
Oh, I definitely want to see that then.
Okay.
Hey,
Why are you okay with isn't the whole build up to the end of a movie like
I'm not in charge of the world. I'm just in charge of myself.
it's just I feel like when somebody says they're going to go see a movie, no matter the circumstance, you shouldn't say, here's what happens in the movie.
Earl's black. He talks during the movie.
I don't like talking during the movie. You get trailer time to talk. Movie starts. That's it. You can trailers. You could say
You're trying to control the world. Control yourself.
I just like a peaceful movie going experience. All the way up until watching the trailer online to going to see the movie.
Movies suck anyway. Here's a spoiler alert for you. Movies haven't been good in years. There's going to be a black Superman. Does that fucking ruin everything? Did you see Titanic?
I did.
Yeah.
I was young and I'm not going to lie to you. That fucking took me by surprise.
Why?
I did not know. I was like 4 and my mom took me to see that movie. And when everybody started dying, I was like, holy shit. And I think I cried in the movie theater because I was 4.
The whole fucking place was crying.
Yeah, that was a big twist for me.
They're talking about doing Titanic 2.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They're saying Jack was stuck in an air hole for 20 years. He was able to just keep breathing.
So it's like a Captain America situation.
I don't know. I didn't see it, dude. Why would you fucking do that? You want me to not ruin this fucking hurricane for you? It rains at the end. I don't like the fact that you're attacking Earl. It comes off a tad racist.
It's not racist at all.
Earl, I apologize for my race that you were treated this way.
Thank you, Ronnie B.
And so sorry about the fucking slavery thing. That got fucking literally out of control. If there's anything we could do for you, any reparations, just let us know. We're here to please. We're the United States of America.
40 acres and a mule would be nice.
What are you going to do with a mule?
We're the United States of America, and we know we've made a few mistakes in the past. The Indians, the slaves. But we're ready to turn it around.
Didn't give a woman the right to vote until 1920.
White women voted years after black men got the vote. So at least feel good about that, Earl. We value you more than we do our own wives and daughters. Black men, it's time they appreciate what they've got. But you should fucking apologize for racially attacking him.
It had nothing to do with racism, but I'm not apologizing for Earl going out of his way to ruin a movie that I was excited to see.
When the black stereotype is they ruin movies. Everybody knows
they
that.
ruin the movie-going experience. They don't usually ruin.
They're just having a day watching this fucking flag shred. It's really annoying me. What's going to happen tonight? Spoiler alert. It's a
double eviction.
Yeah.
It looks like looks like they're targeting Brett.
Really?
Yeah, last night there was a lot of talks about targeting Brett in the house because Tyler and Angela are just done with him. Angela and Casey were pissed when Tyler told them that Brett was coming to him to go after them. And Brett's just completely like lost their side of the house. He was even
Does he know it?
No, he doesn't know. But I think he's suspicious because he's been like really getting paranoid of Tyler and Angela. Like, you know how they have those weird rooms with the sliding doors?
Uh-huh.
He slept with it like cracked open last night so he could just peek in and stare at Tyler and Angela. But Brett, we found out he had an adopted Asian daughter. That surprised me. He doesn't come off like somebody that was raised like that.
Wait, he adopted a daughter?
No, he has a sister.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
I'm sorry.
He doesn't make any mistakes on Big Brothers.
No.
And he gets on here and I ask him about Big Brother and he turns into a whirling dervish.
Brad's an illegitimate child?
No. His name's Brett, not Brad.
I said Brett.
No, you really didn't.
I said Brad?
Yeah, you said Brad. I don't want to spoil alert anything for Earl. Earl, did you like the movie Lincoln?
It's all right.
I gave it 1 word review. Stinking. Well, we gotta do something about the South. What was that crazy fucking voice he was doing? Why couldn't he have been like this? Yes, everyone, I'm Lincoln. My name is Lincoln. When's Star is Born come out?
I believe October.
Rocktober.
October.
Somebody told me Lady Gaga might be the first host of SNL this year. I don't know though.
You think she does musical? And
who else is she going to bring in?
Tony Bennett.
That's racist, dude. People are saying she's going to win the Oscar.
It's the only movie I've heard any like buzz about in the awards race so far.
I heard about White Kid Rick, and when he gets out of jail, he gets killed.
That's the best part, I think.
I don't know why you guys are just so happy just fucking ruining this movie.
Because you're just fucking, you see yourself as a young white guy Rick.
And when I watched Earl ruin it for him, and Earl did not give a fuck, and I just started laughing.
Earl don't give too. Earl does not give an inch.
No, he didn't give a shit. He just stared at me and said, "What? It's a true story. You should know." Well, I didn't.
He's right, though. You should know your nation's history.
Was that big of a thing in the history?
Everybody talked about it. They teach fucking college classes on it.
On White Boy Rick?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just one of those like, hey, this happened. You know?
What would you make a movie about right now if they gave you a chance?
Civil War.
What a fucking idiot.
I feel like the last good Civil War movie was Gone with the Wind. It's been long enough.
12 Years a Slave does nothing for you?
I didn't see 12 Years a Slave.
Glory does nothing for you?
Never saw Glory. So I think that's why I wanted to make a Civil War movie. I just missed out on all the other ones.
I tried to bring you in, bro.
I didn't. I haven't seen.
You gotta go help him with the phones now. I'll just say this: our number is 844 Rock God. Please don't call. I want him just to sit in front of a phone bank.
Oh, he will.
Earl, I'm glad you didn't give an inch to that fucker.
No, I didn't think it's in the synopsis. It's in. It's,
you know what? He's white boy Dick. That's who he is.
I mean, and it's a pretty. I mean, I think that this guy was the youngest informant ever.
Or detail.
It's in
I don't know. My little sister was a fucking informant on me. Did you ever rat on anybody in your family?
No. I wouldn't even rat on friends. I was the victim of an informant type thing, so I will never do that ever.
Was it White Boy Rick?
It was kind of a White Boy Rick situation. I think when I get out of prison, I get killed.
Somebody rat you out to the cops?
Yeah.
For what?
Drugs.
What drugs?
It was ecstasy and psilocybin mushrooms.
I don't know how I'd even tell a cop this guy's got mushrooms. What else does he have? Steak sauce? Who gives a fuck who's got mushrooms?
I think in my my school hearing, I tried to say it was cooking mushrooms.
Yes, of course.
I was like, "Is that?" I had a lawyer with me. I said, "Hey, is that officer who was arresting trained to identify drugs?" And I was like, "No." Like, well, I was cooking mushrooms then.
You said, why didn't you say it was cooking mushrooms rather than giving away the thing you were going to say?
I had to prove that guy.
But would you know what mushrooms you got? You're a fucking guy who's went to Kennett Square. How do you know what came back with you? I don't understand how they even fucking nailed you on mushrooms.
All right, so this is the whole convoluted story.
Convoluted?
As simply as possible.
You shouldn't call your own fucking story convoluted. I don't think you're very aware what that means.
So maybe some guy bought some mushrooms in my apartment, and then he leaves my apartment, and then goes down to the city to go buy more drugs, and then that guy leaves some mushrooms in his apartment.
Can I just say this? Yeah. Is this guy you?
No, I swear to God, it's not me.
This is a Fight Club type thing.
Guy, the dude who bought the mushrooms in my apartment, parks his car illegally, leaves the mushrooms in there, goes buys more drugs, goes to the precinct to pick up his car, and they find the drugs that he bought, and then they're like, "Where the mushrooms come from?" And they gave him my name down the city, and then fucking cops and all.
So all those things happen though.
All those things did happen.
Yeah. So it's not like you can get mad at him.
No, I can't be mad at him for fucking not saying my fucking name.
You ever get even with him?
I thought about it. I thought about stealing his car, but I didn't. I set aside, like, I'll just put this bullshit.
Can I say this? It ain't over yet. You know what I mean? You both are still on the fucking planet. And I always like to say, revenge is a meal best served cold. You know what else is?
What is?
Gazpacho. Serve it cold. Don't fucking heat it up. This gazpacho is as fucking cold as revenge. Delish.
This fusion? Using revenge and gazpacho?
Okay. Now I get it. I didn't know where you were going with it. Because like, well, no, of course it isn't. But yeah, now that you're putting revenge into it, yes. Yes, Chris, it is. Well, you know, they've got this thing now that if, like, let's suppose me and you were doing drugs, right?
Okay.
And I died while we were doing the drugs.
Yeah.
You would be arrested for murder.
But what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's happening again. And this keeps people from dropping off their friends at the hospital when they OD. They're just like, hey, he's fucking ODing. Let's just bury him and get out of here because this is a murder rap.
I think he's still breathing.
I hate when somebody Like, they're saying, oh, yeah, she's addicted to drugs. She's been running around with a really dark, shitty fucking, crew. And I'm like, well, it's because she's dark and shitty. You know what I mean? She's not the shining light in the middle of all these drug addicts. You're a fucking shitty drug addict, too.
She likes hanging out with them.
Yeah, they have a lot in common.
It seemed kind of fun on the dark side, though.
The term dark side came from Star Wars. You have a live read for me to read?
Yes, I do.
Why? I want to ask you something, Earl. You got to be excited about your Jets, right?
Cautiously optimistic about the Jets.
And Chris, you're cautiously pessimistic about your Giants, right?
Very much so.
Let me ask you guys something. Do you want to catch all the NFL live action highlights and touchdowns every Sunday afternoon? Want all that glorious football action without paying extra? Dish has heard your need for more NFL football and a bill that doesn't change. That's why Dish gives you a 2-year price guarantee and 1 season of NFL Red Zone from NFL Network at no additional cost. It's about time you get all the Sunday afternoon football you want without paying more. Dish listens. It's how they stay tuned into you. 2-year price guarantee applies to core programming and certain fees. Requires credit qualification and 2-year commitment. NFL Red Zone and multi-sport package included with packages starting at $69.99 at no additional cost through January 2nd of 19. Other restrictions apply. To learn more, dial 1-844, call Dish, visit dish.com, or find a local retailer near you. So now do you guys get it?
Now I understand. Now I know I can watch, all my Giants games and the highlights.
Yeah, you can watch all the San Francisco Giants. That's all you should be caring about. Greg in PA.
So Stephen King made a good point. He says that basically there's no such thing as spoilers because you don't watch a movie or read a book to find out how it ends, or else you just skip to the end and see how it ends. Like this fucking idiot Vito, he'd say like, "Oh, don't watch Saving Private Ryan because you know that Hitler loses." Or some. He's a fucking idiot.
All right, let's bring Vito in and give him this.
And you know what else?
Yeah.
Whoever writes the taglines on the serious thing here is an idiot too, because they wrote, "Does spoilers ruins movies?" or some fucking idiot.
What the fuck? Who wrote that?
That was Earl.
Earl did. He's a retard.
You write "does spoilers"?
He's an asshole.
Meant to write do spoilers.
Do's?
Do.
Do?
Just erase that and just write "I'm a maroon." All right, you get the Stephen King thing? You don't watch movies just for the ending.
But that's bullshit because it's all like things are
Wait
built
a
on.
minute, who's created more, you or Stephen King?
Stephen King's created a fair amount of stuff. But the fact is, anticipation and tense. I made this mistake. Fuck. Tension. Tension is a huge part of building a story, and you're using all that energy. If you spoil something, you're taking away a big part of the story. You want to build tension. You want to build suspense.
You don't build it. They do. You're just watching.
But if you
You're
know,
just like a fucking fly on the wall.
if you know what happens, it takes away that tension. You need that.
Not really. The tension was the spoiler guy even telling me the truth? You don't know. Maybe I made up that thing about when he gets out, right? And gets shot.
Maybe. I don't think you said the get shot thing before.
Well, how else are they going to kill him?
I don't know. Poison?
No, it's because you.
What is this, Russia? Anybody who uses poison is a fucking moron. So you don't know, right?
It feels like you guys have made it very clear that there's a lot of stuff in this movie that I'm not going to be surprised by.
Just go see it. You're going to like it.
Go see it. See what surprises you and what got spoiled for you. That's the suspense.
But I'm just going to know Earl spoiled the whole movie for me and ruined
No,
these-
you're not. You're going to get caught up in the Matthew McConaughey role, and you're going to love it.
He's a secondary character, it seems.
Seems. You consider a fucking father to be a secondary character? A father who ends up getting a heart attack at the trial.
Why'd you have to add that last part in?
I thought you wanted to know. You were looking at me like, what?
Yeah.
I guess that's my fault.
This movie sounds awesome.
No, it stinks. It's really bad. Huge casting. And why is there 80s music playing during a 70s fucking thing?
This is
It's the
70s?
It takes place in the 70s.
I thought this whole time it was an 80s movie from the music of the trailer.
No. Yeah, that's the problem. They're playing music that came out 10 years later.
I'm going to see it. Not going to be happy about it.
Oh, no, it's very sad when his mom dies. Why would you be fucking happy about it?
So he's a fucking orphan now.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Tell me.
See? See? He finds out those aren't his real parents.
Okay.
His real father's Carlos Escobar. So he got fucking involved in this. And he didn't realize he ended up ratting on his own dad.
See, you tell, but like your spoilers, like you build tension, you build suspense.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
excited to hear them. Earl just yelled shit out at me.
That's
in the
fucking
office.
racist, dude, what you're saying. You're saying that they don't have the ability to fucking build the same kind of tension.
No, I just think you just built some better tension than Earl did personally by just bluntly yelling at me.
Earl, let me ask you this. Does it annoy you that Italians became white people when they didn't used to be?
Yeah, how did that flip happen?
I don't know. But it's got to give the Puerto Ricans and Dominicans a lot to think about. Ba 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 ba.
Still one of the greatest scenes ever. Was it True Romance?
Oh, what's that?
Walking and
Oh, dude, don't bring up a racist fucking scene like that. I can't even watch it. I refuse to watch it. I won't even eat eggplant. What's the last movie you saw?
In theaters?
No, I meant on the side of a wall. You and your friends just rented a projector.
Black Klansman.
How was it for you?
I loved it. The middle slowed down a little, but overall, like, it was great.
Doesn't the middle slow down in every movie? That's why it's the middle.
But no, it was great. I definitely would recommend it.
To who?
You guys.
I'll wait till it comes to TBS.
I don't think that's going to make TBS.
I was watching Clockers last night.
A TBS?
As a Spike. What a fucking movie.
I think it's one of his most underrated.
I agree.
I mean, because
talk about Dengen. I was very dense watching this.
Like Harvey Keitel and
yeah.
I think Isaiah Washington's in it, and it's a great cast.
You're like if Wikipedia spoke.
I don't know. I'm like I like casts. I like liner notes. I like information about them.
You like fucking spoiling movies for people.
I don't think I spoiled anything.
You did. You just stared at me. You spoil it.
You think your friendship is over with Earl?
Fucking close.
Fucking.
You guys are having sex?
No, we're not having sex.
You didn't bring me in?
It's just, I don't see myself being friends with somebody.
You don't see your.
I don't see myself being friends with somebody.
Someone that's black?
No, you know.
That's what he's saying, Rod.
That's what I'm getting from Chris.
It has
He's
nothing,
no rat.
It has nothing to do with skin color. It's just fucking selfishness.
Jesus.
That was not selfish
How
at all.
long
what
it's
he
been
did.
since you dated a woman? Because I think that you got a little backup and you're just cranky.
Just all just stuck up there.
All your anger comes from jizz.
It's been a while. It's been 3 years.
You want me to really?
Yeah, it's been 3 years since I was in a committed relationship.
You gotta get it.
I thought you were going to say was in a vagina. I wonder what she's doing now.
I wish her the best in her future endeavors.
Future?
Current endeavors.
If you found out that she had cancer, would you want to go visit her?
I mean, I'd probably go say hi.
Yeah. So why not visit her when she's fucking healthy?
No interest.
Yeah.
Once there's a breakup, I never want to see the person again. It's very healthy that way.
Not even at the funeral?
No.
Is she dead to you?
Yeah. Dead to me. It's not even like bitterness or anything. It's just I don't.
It's like a friendly dead to you.
Yeah,
like
like
if a friend died.
Like she died, and I'm like, oh, she was a nice person.
If a friend of yours dies, do you never bring them up again? You never speak about them?
No, I never go to their gravestone.
One of my hobbies is speaking ill of the dead.
They can't say anything back to you.
Is that all you worry about? Look at this fucking thing coming in. I'm telling you, I think the weather people are right about this. I think Sam Champion is fucking dead on. Look at that. Look at all that water, and the storm hasn't even showed up yet. This guy's going out to the beach. As you can see, there's waves out here. No one's even like in the water and like they're yelling at him. That's always my favorite. Some guy tries to surf the fucking hurricane. Look at him, happy as fuck. One thing I'd do if I was a weather guy and I was the only one down there, I'd start breaking into houses and see what I could find.
You're not going to miss anything.
You think you could break into a house and walk around somebody else's house? I think it's tougher than a rape. I really do. I think the fact of being in someone's house feels really fucking shitty.
I'd feel weird. I think I could, if I had to, yeah, I could break into a house, fucking steal some shit, but I wouldn't like it.
How would you?
I don't know if I was put in some situation where someone made me break into houses.
I broke into somebody's house once. I didn't steal anything. No, I didn't steal anything.
Did you go in their house?
I went into somebody else's apartment. My cousin was like, we were like 13 to 15.
Yeah.
I was 13, he was 15. He was like, we're going to go smoke weed. My neighbor's out of town, so we're just going to go smoke in their closet.
What?
I don't know why, because
are you going there getting blown?
He didn't want to get caught smoking weed, so he thought it was a better. I didn't even think about that until now. He thought it was a better idea to fucking break into somebody else's apartment. But he was like, they leave their door open, so we could just go in there. We'll go in her closet. We'll smoke weed in there, and then
sounds like a great way to die in a fire.
So we walked in, smoked in there, and then left because I didn't want to stay
out for a couple minutes.
No, we didn't make out. It was my cousin.
Oh, that's the only reason.
No, that was it. That was the only thing holding me back.
What if it was the second cousin?
Maybe some light kissing, some hand stuff.
Here's why I don't like the idea of breaking in other people's apartments, because it's all kind of skeevy. Like, do you ever look in somebody else's refrigerator and even their condiments look like, oh my God.
It's shocking every single time.
And yet, it's not like your condiments look so great, but other people's are really, you're like, oh, you keep this? You're gross.
I was in somebody's apartment recently, and the top of a ketchup bottle was broken off, and I was like, that's disgusting.
This was the house you broke into.
Yeah, I went back there. I go back every year.
That's so romantic.
Me and my cousin said we'd meet back here in 20 years.
Here's the thing. You look at someone's condiments and you're like, oh, Worcestershire sauce? What? You're so fucking disgusting? Because you know they're not using that a lot.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, butter dish? That's old butter you're keeping in there. Maybe we could start like a celebrity condiment thing where we just go into a celebrity. We break into celebrities' house.
Yellow mustard.
Okay, stay quiet, everybody. We know Mia Farrow's away to the market, so we're going to head in through her window.
So like a non-consensual MTV Cribs.
Welcome to non-consensual Cribs. Your thing sounds more like a rape, though.
We should just call it panty drawer.
I did not expect that one, man. No one says panty worse than you do. That just is. Could you say panty?
Panty drawer.
It's more like Pantene with him. So here's some of her. Here's some Mia Farrow's panties. We have to be very careful because her son already exposes me. We don't want to be caught up in that. I just went in for some panties, but look, there's some Polaroids in the back. I guess she's been taking pictures.
Really stumbled onto something here.
Oh God, that's fucking horrible, dude. So both you guys are fucking like second floor men. You're willing to break into a fucking place. I give you credit.
I stole a buddy's sister's drawer panties.
I don't think you can say that.
Your buddy's panties?
No, my buddy had a hot sister, so I stole.
Older or younger?
She was older.
It doesn't matter what she fucking looked like.
was
You just got
attractive.
her underwear.
Yeah, I stole her fucking panties.
You jack into them?
Yeah.
Were they used or were they clean?
Used. This was in the hamper. Like I
This
found
is last weekend?
No, this was years ago. Years ago.
How many years ago?
I would say it's like I'm talking like 2005.
So how old were you then?
I was 22.
That's too old.
Is
That's
it?
far too old.
We were getting whacked out like fucking all day at this kid's house.
I thought this was like a fun 13-year-old
Yeah.
or something.
A confused boy.
No, I knew what I wanted.
Not a grown man who could legally drink.
Did you find a picture of her online anywhere? Can you find her Facebook?
This might take me a little time.
No, I got nothing but time, dude. I'm dying to fucking know how fucking. I mean,
This kid's name? Try. Hold on. Sorry.
just say it on the air.
No, I'm not. No. Hold on. I know how to find it. Don't say anything that's coming up on it. Please. Dude, don't. Seriously, don't. Fucking please don't.
Wait, is that her? Because that says 1953.
No, this was the person's parents. I'll get the last name. We call it by the last name, and then I can find it.
I was saying I did not expect to see that date written up there. He's a judge?
Dude.
All right, if you're just tuning in, Chris Stanley stole the girl's panties and whacked into him. You got to be kidding me. That's who the guy is.
No, that's the. Oh, hold on. This is going to take a couple minutes.
That's what you said.
Oh!
Bullshit.
You got him, Earl. You got that panty sniffing fucking idiots. I can't believe the high endness of where you're going with this.
Yeah, the father. That's all I'm going to say. Please don't say anything
He's
else.
doing very well for himself.
Yeah, it was a very nice house. We were getting fucked
I'm
up.
surprised they had dirty clothes laying around.
Well, the daughter did.
And she was 12?
No, she was like in her fucking mid-20s. God damn.
Still living at home.
Well, you know.
Makes me feel better about
latchkey
myself.
kids.
Latchkey at 25?
I guess I'm a latchkey kid.
This is going to take more time than I think. Why can't I remember this fucking kid's name? Hold on, I'm going to text someone.
One of the names that's popped up there was Mary Jo Kopechnik.
Did you not find the name on there?
No, I can't find the name. I have to text someone to click it.
This fucking story is hilarious. You're disgusting too, man. Let's just get that out there.
Fine.
You're a creep.
This is a weird thing for a 22-year-old guy to be doing.
I was really messed up that day.
Like, what if you got... I wish you got caught. I just wish you got caught.
It's not too late for us to contact her.
How long did you keep the panties for?
I can't. I think
still has them
Did you ever meet her? Or you just found some panties?
No, I met her a number of times. Like she didn't really hang out with us, but I met her a few times.
Did she seem like she dug you?
Oh no.
I'm surprised you didn't like rub the panties all over yourself to attract the pheromones. You went to computer tech school. You should be good at this.
I just can't remember the dude's name. Ah, okay, got it.
Somebody just wrote it back to you?
Yeah. Wow, it was close in my head.
Oh. And he put sister. That never shows up over anybody's thing.
Her?
Oh my god!
I don't think that's her. I don't think that's her. I don't think I would have stolen that girl's panties.
It's not nice.
You could actually warn those.
You're not friends on Facebook?
I don't think so. I don't even know if I'd recognize him.
Probably got a mutual friends.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Okay, mutual friends. Go to somebody else's face.
You're like a hacker.
Yeah.
I grew up in this digital age.
Hey, Jason, you're on the Bennington show.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you today, buddy?
Good.
I'd like to point out that a 22-year-old person who's jerking off into somebody else's underwear should probably seek professional help because that shit ain't right. That's 14-year-old business right there.
What's not right about it? I wanted something and I took it.
It's developmentally inappropriate, is my point.
Oh, also, I was fucked up while I did it. Does that make it better?
No. You should have moved on to cutting slits in posters of girls who are naked, I think, at that point.
This is like what eventually becomes a serial killer. Every serial killer is a fucking panty thief. Did you know that?
I thought they just killed like small animals.
What?
You brought up killing small animals earlier today.
You mean a hunter? You think hunters going to be serial killers?
I was going to ask if this dude who knows the sister's name, because I'm drawing blanks here.
Hey, Brian in DC.
You have the biggest fucking creep in your employment. I mean, it is. That whole situation is like the start of a CSI SVU episode.
I'm not violent.
You should be. You creep.
Oh, please. She has plenty of panties, or had, or whatever.
Ugh.
Do you remember what the panties looked like?
Yeah, they're a purple thong.
Is that right?
Sure.
Sounds like something a child would wear.
That was an adult.
You know what the anniversary is today?
No.
25th anniversary?
No.
Conan O'Brien.
Really?
Starting a show, yeah. Guy that you claim to be a big fucking fan of.
I didn't know this was the anniversary day.
You piece of shit.
David actually tweeted this. Don't tell Vito, but somehow Mission Control in Houston figures out how to get the Apollo 13 back safe.
That was on my Netflix queue.
You find it?
Hold on. Oh my, he has a kid?
Yes, people your age have children. You're not in high school, Chris.
All right, let's see. No. I know what I'm going to do.
What's up with Bells?
I think this might be the person. Let's see. Open anything with the last name. I think that could be her.
That's the pig.
I can't. At the time, she was not.
That's her right there.
No, it's not. No, these aren't pictures of her.
Did you find his Facebook?
Yeah,
but
now that I'm just searching through his Facebook for
Yeah,
anyone.
but he
with
might
his
have
last name.
pictures with his own sister.
How do you steal somebody's panties and not remember their name?
Oh, this might be it. Let me see. This guy texted me, but no.
We got a guest coming in. Do you want to break for that, Chris?
Yeah, let's break.
Is she in?
I have to check.
Yeah, check before we break.
I just looked.
She is in?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let's plug.
Vicky Cooperman is coming in studio. Her newest album, Three's Comedy, is playing now on SiriusXM and is available
Come
on.
and look at Otto.
It's playing now on SiriusXM and available on iTunes. Her book, How to Spy on Your Neighbor, is available in stores and on Amazon.
Hey, would you make me a favor?
Yeah.
You don't try to steal her underwear
I would
at
never
all.
do that. I mean, I did it one time.
Is this one of them?
She's one of them, yeah.
Are you sure?
going to narrow it down.
This is why I believe in home security, to keep people like Chris out. And Ring's mission is to make neighborhoods safer. Today, over 1 million people use the amazing Ring video doorbell to help protect their homes. Ring knows home security begins at the front door, but doesn't end there. So now they're extending that same level of security to the rest of your home with the Ring Floodlight Cam. Just like Ring's amazing doorbell, Floodlight Cam is a motion-activated camera and floodlight that connects right to your phone with HD video and two-way audio that lets you know the moment anyone steps on your property. See and speak to visitors, even set off an alarm right from your phone with Ring's Floodlight Cam. When things go bump in the night, you'll immediately know what it is. Whether you're home or away, the Ring Floodlight Cam lets you keep an eye on your home from anywhere. Ring Floodlight offers the ultimate in home security with high visibility floodlights and a powerful HD camera that puts security in your hand. With Ring, you're always home. Save up to $150 off a Ring of Security kit when you go to ring.com/comedy. Ring.com/comedy. That's ring.com/comedy.
Welcome back to Bennington.
Thanks.
Vicky Cooperman's in studio.
Hi.
Hey, Vicky.
Hi.
Vicky's newest album, Three's Comedy, is playing now on SiriusXM and is available on iTunes. Her book, How to Spy on Your Neighbor, is available in stores on Amazon.
You voted today?
I voted. I did. And I made a lot of Sex and the City puns as I did it.
People, this will be the end of it if she doesn't.
It'll be the end,
up,
which is why this is the only day to make the jokes.
Yeah, this is after today. It's all right. Give us one.
Last night, Cynthia Nixon delivered a very powerful speech on the eve of the primary. Meanwhile, across town, Samantha was getting a very powerful delivery of her own.
See?
I've been doing that all day.
Yeah. Chris, you were a big fan of that show, because your mom was a fan?
My mom loved that show. She loved Sex and the City.
Yeah, it was so entertaining.
It was, it had the zeitgeist at the time, you know? Every once in a while, you're like, hey, why did everybody watch that? You don't know, but at the time it was there. Doesn't even mean it was great. It was just a shared experience.
It was, and it was the first anything of its kind.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of was at the same time as The Sopranos, the first also anything of its kind. So I just remember that HBO heyday very fondly.
Well, Earl, you remember it because this was in New York without black people. And they do that like Friends, no real black people. Woody Allen had no real black people. And Seinfeld, not a lot of black people.
Yeah, no black professionals. Not even like the black bus driver or anything like that.
Yes.
And when they did have them, it was a story. Like Samantha dated a black guy.
Right. All right, you wrote the book How to Spy on Your Neighbor. You like keeping an eye on your neighbor?
Well, it's so long. The next part is your survival guide for the United States of Russia, because I'm Russian. So I wrote it right after the election. I'm like, we're back. The 80s are back.
Yeah.
So it's the KGB handbook.
Yeah, and the Putin thing never goes away either. You know, it's very, very interesting. But why do you think Trump likes Putin so much?
I can't figure it out. I think he doesn't know who he likes. Maybe tomorrow. I think maybe he's scared to hate him.
Yeah.
It seems like he really values strong leaders who are a little, on the tyrannical side.
Yeah. That he seems like he does do that. But I do think it's funny that he hates our friends.
Right.
And really likes our enemies.
Right. It's very weird. Yeah. And also maybe, people think Putin has something on him. If you do business in Russia, I feel like you're dirty. It's kind of like if you're in politics, you're dirty. It doesn't matter what party you are.
But were you born in Russia?
I was born in Moscow.
Do you have memories?
No, I came here very young as a Russian Jewish refugee.
Oh,
that's when literally we were refugees. We were white refugees. We were refugees. And but I went back for a semester in college and lived there for 3 months. Only spoke Russian for 3 months. I came back speaking English with an accent. I mean, it was like full immersion. It was so, and it was great. I had a great time. But no, I think I'm an American. That's what I learned as soon as I landed in Russia. I'm like, oh yeah, they're looking at me like an American.
Yeah, right. Yes.
And then here I'm looked at as a Russian when I was in elementary school, because that was during the whole Cold War thing.
Right. Well, one of the interesting things during the Cold War, and I remember TV at the time and all that, they never let on that there was any attractive Russian women.
Right.
It was almost a joke that a Russian woman was this giant.
Right.
And then, once the Cold War was over, you're like, where'd all these beautiful women come from? They're Russian.
They have legs like 8 feet long.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like, you're going to stand out. And I go there and I look like a peasant girl. I mean, these women are wearing live animals around their neck. It's like 7 a.m. I'm like, where are you going? Where are you coming from? I went to a club. I was like 20, and there's a woman just naked on the bar, walking naked. And I said to my friend, why does she strip? And they go, what do you mean strip? And I'm like, well, every layer of clothing, they get a few dollars, and they laugh so hard. They're like, she doesn't, what? She gets thousands a night for being a prostitute. What does she need to strip for? That's just child's play.
That's stupid. The interesting part of that, though, is you said that you were American, and that happens no matter where kids. If you come in as a kid, you suddenly hip hop in this country.
Right. Right.
There must be something so much about our culture. You know what I mean? The fact that people will come here and adapt to it very, very fast.
Exactly. So fast. I mean, look, I'm not a USA blanket, not thinking person. However, I think that every country dominates in certain things, and I do think the United States dominates in pop culture.
Yes.
I really do. I think our music and movies are just the best. Sorry, I know I sound like Trump, but it's just they are.
But it is true. It has nothing to do with politics, and it has nothing to do with the idea of freedom and all this stuff they pitch. There is just something, and maybe it's because it's a mixture.
Well, also
of
we
cultures.
spread it all over the world.
Yeah.
So when I lived in Russia, I lived with a family, and they said, "Oh, this is who we listen to of American singers. So who do Americans listen to of Russians?" And I was like, they don't know any. They were like, I was like, Bruce Willis movies, American actors acting Russian. I was like, there's no one they listen to.
That is true, and the only English have ever made any inroads, I think, with music in this country. But it's really funny.
Well, now Latin invade. There's like the whole Latin thing, which is good. I like
that is a good point. That, but it's actually way more island than it is anything else. It's the island cultures more than like Mexico or South America, or whatever. But yes, that has to do more with the fact that Puerto Ricans and Dominicans are very at home in the United States, and they travel back and forth. That's also something that's really interesting about immigrants in this country is they go back home all the time, all the time. And I was just talking with an Egyptian cab driver I had the other day, and he sees another cab driver and he goes, he followed me here from Egypt and he's going back and forth. And he seemed like an American dude. And he goes, no, I go back like 3-4 times a year.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's amazing.
Well, that's what I learned when my grandmother came here and waited for a green card. The green card gives you the power to leave.
Right.
That's
more than anything else.
a privilege, leaving and coming back, not just staying here. Because staying here is a little easier than leaving and coming back.
You know what else is fascinating too is that Jewish people are never completely of that place anyway. Like Polish Jews they're not really Polish.
Right.
They're Jewish first. But I feel like here in America, it's way more integrated.
Yes, just American Jews.
Yes.
There's just Long Island.
Yes, Long Island. And a lot of this amazes me. No matter how hip you are when you're young, you're going to turn into an old Jewish man as the years go by.
You are, always. Yes.
If Lenny Bruce would have lived, he'd have been like, I had a nice piece of fish and it was good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I remember when, like Richard Lewis was a young guy and he seems like he gets more of the stereotypical old Jew every single year.
Right. Definitely. Oh yeah, he's curmudgeon level,
and
now.
he was very cool.
Yeah,
when he was younger.
He was. Remember, he did those. What were the Baco's commercials?
Yeah.
No, but I think what you're saying is interesting. It speaks to the religious freedom because they don't have to be seen as a religion.
Right.
And in Russia, like on my father's passport, it said Jewish, not Soviet. So we were told we were Jewish.
Right.
We were not citizens of Soviet Union. We were different. Yeah. And here, it's all integrated, which is why when like a Muslim says, I feel American, I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't you? You are an American citizen.
You are, yes. Yeah. And that happens, incredibly fast, even if there's a bunch of people coming in. But a lot of time when we say you're American, I think the kids tend to want to be black.
Yeah.
If they're,
Definitely.
you know what I mean? Like Asian kids come into this country becoming very black before, white American.
Well, black is cool.
Yeah, yes, black is cool. There's no doubt about it. And that's the same thing that they must have been saying, about kids in the 50s when they were into R&B, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was when they were kind of jungle music and they were all concerned about it. But here's what's interesting. It's black American culture that people like.
Right.
No one ever goes, "Oh man, I really relate to Africans." You know what I mean?
Right.
But Earl, did you pick up on that as a young age that kids wanted to be black?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. Whether it was slang that was in for that time.
Right.
I remember like in the 90s, we went to the show. It was like a Chinese rock star. Entire audience Chinese. A friend of mine takes a picture for these two young ladies, and then they were very broken English. They said thank you. Then at the last tail end of it goes, "It's nice to see the brothers come out and represent." And then they walked away, and we were just like, "What the?" We just our jaws were dropping.
Is it annoying?
That was cool. Then it gets annoying when they kind of over.
Here's what I noticed in the city: young Spanish kids will drop the N-bomb, and young Asian kids will drop the N-bomb. I don't understand it though.
Yeah, the Spanish dudes. Oh my God! It's like it's noun, verb, adjective.
Right.
It's everything. And I'm like, and you just look at them like, what? And it's just another word for these guys.
Is that just integration and housing and school that they hear it? So I don't know. You hear black people say
and the
to each other?
music and stuff like that too.
Because they
I'm
say
sure.
it kind of like black people say it, right?
Yes.
They don't say it
They
like
say it in a positive way.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they go my.
Yeah, right. Interesting. Yeah, I don't touch that word.
Plug away, would you? Chris?
Vicky's newest album, Three's Comedy, is playing now on SiriusXM and is available on iTunes. And her book, How to Spy on Your Neighbor, is available in stores and on Amazon.
What made you commit to comedy years ago?
Well, Ron, mental illness.
Yes, that will do it.
That's what
won't it?
commits all of us.
Yeah.
I thought I was very naive when I started. People said, if you want to write comedy, you have to do comedy, like to be a better writer. So I'm like, I'll do it once. I didn't realize what it took. And then I did my first graduation show at Caroline's.
Yeah.
And it was like the fake audience because it's your friends. And I got it. It's addiction. It really is addiction. I've been thinking like comedians are like junkies. We really... Especially in the beginning when you're doing it for free, you're spending money to travel around to a shitty festival. Sorry, I'm swearing.
No, you have every right to.
Oh, good. I love this show. And it's just, it is addictive. And I think with drugs, sometimes you don't realize that it's sometimes bad for you if you keep doing it.
Right.
But I think the overall is a positive.
It is a very interesting thing that there's something addictive. And it's I guess an art form that you almost get. You know what I mean? Like,
almost.
There's just something right that's right ahead of you. Where I feel like if like you're writing a song, you'll go back and do that song the same way. But I don't know if you ever go back and do a piece the same way.
You can't because your audience is your instrument and the instrument changes every night.
Yes, that's true, isn't it?
So that's what's really live and spontaneous about comedy. It's what's amazing because you can see a veteran bomb and a newbie kill. And that's what makes it fun.
Or you could, in New York, you could kill, walk across the street and be struggling with the same material. Right. And I always think that it's healthy when a person struggles with something and they go, what am I, terrible? You know what I mean? Like, instead of blaming the audience, go, how am I not getting this across?
Right.
I think that makes it way more of a fascinating thing to do than to just say, I'm talking to idiots right now.
Absolutely. And I definitely, to a fault, blame myself.
Yeah.
Now that I've been doing it a little longer, sometimes I say, okay, there wasn't a connection. And there's nothing I can do about that. There just was not a connection.
Right.
but I did my best.
And who knows why there isn't a connection? Is it something they went through?
Right.
Was it the walk to the stage, the introduction, the way that you maybe got off just a slightly different tone when you started? But it's always really fascinating when you're like, well, here's a room. I have nothing in common with these people.
Right.
They're older, they're younger, they're different, whatever. And all of a sudden there is that connection.
Yeah,
you know?
it's crazy. I mean, it's fun. You know,
Yeah.
it gets to me. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I really am, you know, a little defeated by the comedy. It's like the industry, not the craft. You know?
Right.
But most of the time, you know, there's that Stanislavski quote, focus on the art in yourself and not yourself in the arts.
Mhm.
So I always remember that when I'm feeling, I'm like, no, it's not about the industry. I didn't start this for an industry. I
Right.
started this for a craft that I like doing.
But I remember I read something that you wrote a while ago. I think it was in HuffPo where you wrote about bad gigs or something.
Yes, the five worst shows I've ever done.
Yeah. And here's what made me laugh about that. Comedians will do that all the time, but you never hear like a band going, "Oh, the 5 worst gigs we've ever." You know what I mean?
Right.
But comedians love to bring up. Here's a chance that I was slaughtered.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we love those because people love those stories.
Yeah.
And also comics love them because we can always relate and we're like, oh, it's not just me.
Right.
And they're funny because comics can make them funny. I think musicians, that's a little sad if they talk about their bad gigs because they never tell a joke. I'm just like, do you need a hug? What is going on?
And I don't even know how many times like I'll be at a show and I don't know whether the band thinks they're doing good or not. You know what I mean? I don't know how they would tell. They're so self-involved with them and their stupid instruments and their already designed songs.
Yeah, and also their audience isn't always paying attention to them. And that gets me. I'm like, are they okay with the fact people are just standing around mingling, but then they'll say they love the concert?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm amazed even now when I go to a classic rock show, so it's older people, and you're seeing a band in a much smaller place than you could have before, but how much they're just heading out to get alcohol.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It really is weird to me. I'm like, this is the show. And you'll just see a steady line going out to get what? Beer. You could drink beer every night of your life.
Right. I know. It's so weird. Oh, that actually reminds me. I wanted to ask you because you've been doing it a while.
Mm-hmm.
Are comedians just like sober now? Is it not what it used to be?
No. I literally stopped for a long time because it used to be let's hand coke to the comedian.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, well, this is a very unhealthy thing.
Yeah.
But this was my prediction. I think people have a tendency to shy away from the roadblocks that the generation right before them.
Right.
And I think that the next generation of comic is never going to have any kind of sex with comedians or comedians with the audience. I think that will be
interesting.
We'll move on from there because of this Me Too thing.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think they're going to say, oh, that's a real roadblock that you don't want to get yourself together. So don't date anybody else in the business. Don't date the waitresses. Don't date the bartenders. Don't date the audience.
Interesting.
Which used to be the only reason to get into the business, no matter how bad you were doing. Like, here's a thing that Chris told us today.
Yeah.
He told us that he snatched panties when he was younger, in his 20s.
I was in my early 20s.
And he took his friend's sister's panties.
I was at my friend's house. We were drinking and having a great time. And then I know his sister, and then I was all messed up, and I stole a pair of her panties.
Off of her?
No, from her drawer. She wasn't
all right.
there.
That would have been different if it was off.
Yeah,
of
I was
her.
going to say, I don't know. Maybe my threshold is so low now with this Me Too stuff.
Right. But that is a weird. And you have no shame attached with that.
No, not a lot of shame. No, I don't think I hurt anyone.
I wonder if
It sounds
would,
like a prank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I wonder if there is. I wish that you would see a therapist about it, just so we could know what the actual feeling was out there.
Were you in love with her?
I was attracted to her.
Okay.
But I didn't interact with her overly much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what would have been really great when you stole her panties? You would have left a pair of your boxers in there.
That would be awesome.
That'd be very romantic.
Yeah. Or you auction them like sweet 16
Oh,
candles.
God, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thanks for getting my panties back, Chris. By the way, the sexual assaults that take place in that movie, that would never
Crazy.
be made today.
Crazy. It would not. Let's be thankful for the movies we have from the past because they would never be
The
made.
lead nerd literally raped that girl.
I know.
He date raped her.
Yep.
And then everybody made it seem like that was an okay thing.
Yeah, everyone was fine with it.
Yeah.
And no one really thought about it up until what? I guess the last few years?
About 6 months ago, people went, hey, that's a really weird thing that happened.
I just saw this movie. Wait, does not anyone else realize what this shit is?
Yeah. Earl comes in and takes pictures.
Yeah, he's
now.
taking. I feel this is very. Me too. Hashtag me too. I'm
Yeah.
violated.
I think
kidding,
that
Earl. I'm just kidding.
that is a weird thing that when you have a camera,
Yeah.
We just start to pose for people.
I know.
instead
I
of-
was like, hi.
Yeah. It was a very great picture. I think you took. I'm looking forward to it.
Vicky Cooperman's new album, Three's Comedy, is playing now in
You thought it
Sirius.
was Three's Company. You thought she literally just did a sketch from
Well,
that show.
it's a play on it.
Yeah.
Is playing now on Sirius XM and available on iTunes. Her book, How to Spy on Your Neighbor, is available in stores and on Amazon.
So you're a lifer now, right? You're a lifer in comedy. You'll never come out of it.
I would say, unfortunately, I think I am.
Yeah.
And with that comes some breathing room. Like I could take a week for mental health because I'm a lifer. you
Yeah.
know, versus like everyone's trying to climb up the wall and just stay there and think that. I personally think I had some like anxiety problems 4 years ago and I took a month off and then I recorded an album. So I do think taking time off is
I
great.
agree
It's
100%.
great.
I actually think that we should be vacationing more in this country. I didn't think that way when I was younger.
Absolutely.
But right now, I'm like, the best thing that we could do to do better work is to take time away from it.
Absolutely. Not only time away and rest for body and soul, but actually just getting perspectives of other countries
Right.
or other regions of this country. I mean, this country itself is incredibly diverse, geographically and culturally and everything. But
I always say this too. I don't know if you can go anywhere and it's not gorgeous in its own way. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
no matter where you go, you're like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
I could picture myself here.
Yeah.
I've never went anywhere that I go, oh my God.
Right. Maybe
It's-
not Flint, but yeah. No, I, mean,
I would really give Flint a try.
Yeah.
I don't drink a lot of water. I'd be fine.
Who needs it? Who needs
Yeah.
it?
I'm happy with a Coca-Cola.
Where was your last vacation?
Well, my last vacation, I literally stayed in New York because Gail had the baby.
Oh, yeah,
so
congratulations.
That was so much. That was so exciting to have a little bit of time while she was doing that. But this baby, it's an incredibly different perspective for me,
right?
Because being a grandfather, that was never like a goal in the back of my mind, or I can like even when I think I was younger, I go, I wonder what kind of father I would make. But I never thought being a grandfather, it's the best thing that could possibly happen.
Oh my God, that's so great. I can see you being the best grandpa.
Oh, it's pretty easy to do. It's
Yeah, I
pretty
know.
easy to be a
Yeah,
good grandfather. But being a parent is, it's
Hard.
frightening. It's
Yeah.
it's and being a kid is hard. Being a
Yeah.
kid is really difficult because you end up getting, your feelings hurt about something, or you feel like you let somebody down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're a grandfather, you're just like, hey.
Yeah, those feelings are real. Even if they're over something little, those kids really feel that anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I had panic attacks when I was a little
Me
kid.
too.
There's no doubt about it.
Me too. Because I couldn't cope. I couldn't say what was going on.
Right. That's the one thing that I see in the baby, even at this age. I see that she's trying to express something,
Oh.
and I see how frustrating that could be. Like, you're not doing exactly what I need done
Yeah.
here, And I do think that's all anxiety is some kind of communication
Yes.
problem. But one of the things, all the guys on the show, we were all mommy's boys, and every one of us had some kind of separation anxiety
bet.
from our moms
I
when
bet.
we were
It's so hard.
little. Yeah.
Well, to totally open up, this is like really raw. My husband and I last night went to an orientation on becoming foster parents.
Really?
And it was eye-opening.
Yeah.
It was so sad. I mean, the
Yeah.
woman was amazing. This is in New York City.
Yeah.
But there are so many kids. They don't call them orphanages, but there are, for all intents and purposes, orphanages.
Yeah.
And they're called child centers. But she was like, God bless you. This is like a really hard thing to do.
Because you don't know how long you're going to.
So much. She said, you don't know, number one, how long. Number two, she kept saying the system's broken. So the judge always wants to put the child back with its parents.
Right.
And so the child goes back and then something happens, neglect or abuse, and they have to be put back in the system.
Yeah.
And then it starts all over again. And these poor kids, I mean, it's a huge, I don't know if we're going to do it, but we would like to move forward at least to take the workshop because it was eye-opening. I mean, I felt so blessed. But the point is, these kids feel so much anxiety. And at this point, they can't even communicate it because communicating their needs have never been met. So it's like a bubbling, quiet mess inside.
Yeah. Well, you know, Monroe Martin was raised in a group home. And when he even brings it up, I just think to myself immediately, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And here's a kid that was born, miles from where I was born. And I'm like, we had such different, unbelievably different lifestyles. And then I always wonder, like, is that come up for him all the time? You can't say this, hey, do you find yourself,
Yeah.
Because here he is, this very talented guy. But you think of how many people in the same circumstances that never find that spot that he's able to find with himself.
I know. And I'm sure he's had separation anxiety.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
Right.
I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
But Chris, you said you used to stare out the window until your mom got home.
Yeah, because my mom would like go to the store. But she was going to the store, but the home life was all fucked up. So she would just stay out. And and I'd be like, where's mom? And I would just stare out the window, waiting for her to come. And then as soon as I saw her walking in the courtyard in my apartment building, I'd run and push the buzzer so she didn't have to get her keys out. Like, I was a mess.
So the home life was fucked up for you too. So you were worried she was gonna abandon you, right?
I was just worried something happened to her. I think that's what I remember.
But that's also abandonment. If she, meaning like you were worried you'd be alone in that home.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my
God. His dad was a junkie.
Yeah.
And lived with them.
Can I foster you?
Yes.
Can I foster you, Chris?
You would have been better off if you were
foster
foster.
you.
But when I'm notoriously late to work, but Chris used to wait at the end of the hall until I'm not even making that up.
Like a puppy.
And he would see me, and then he would head back to the studio.
Yeah,
and I used to laugh my ass off.
Oh my God.
What kind of... I would think to myself, what kind of idiot is he?
Come on.
What kind of unlovable person is he that doesn't deserve my love?
That's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Oh
wow.
my gosh.
Didn't expect that.
And like a puppy dog.
Yeah, it is. He's like a puppy whose ears have been clipped.
Sad.
Yeah, you're sad.
Oh God, nothing says comedy like sadness.
Yes, it is true. And emptiness. There's the way to go.
Oh yeah, I feel an emptiness before shows usually.
Do you really?
Before, like on a road gig, like I'll be like, I miss my parents.
Right.
Like I'm like, what am I doing? And then after, I feel full again.
Right.
I don't know what it is.
And then you wake up in the morning, you're like,
why
here I am in Iowa.
Yeah, I was going to say in Hartford. Here I am in, I did the Tribble runs 9 years ago. Here I am in Montana.
In a motel that opens directly to the street.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't know what it is.
best.
That's the saddest thing where you just open up and there's the park lot.
Yeah. Or where the pictures are nailed to the wall.
So great to have you come in here. Let's do this again soon.
Please.
All right.
It's been
Christopher.
so fun.
Vicky Cooperman's newest album, Three's Comedy, is playing now on SiriusXM, and it's available on iTunes. And her book, How to Spy on Your Neighbor, is available in stores on Amazon.com.
We've got a gig on Monday coming up with Jim Brewer.
That's Jim Brewer Unmasked. It's happening this coming Monday, September 17th, 5 p.m. at the Fat Black Pussycat in New York City. Go to the ibang.com for a chance at free tickets.
All right, that's it for us. Tomorrow, Paul Feig and
Norm Macdonald
Unmasked. Have a great night. Be careful, everybody in the Carolinas. Get out when you get out now and stay out. And also remember that on channel 145, it's the weather channel that's going to be going around the clock, giving you updates. Take care, everybody.